Now here's a film that will turn you into a vicious, soulless...
Destiny 2.
Enjoy!
Guys, you know what? I really respect, when a publisher comes out and says, guys, we want to make some changes. We're going to fix a game, and we're going to start doing the right thing by you guys. No more of this bullshit. And then they fuck you over again.
Welcome back, everyone. Today we're talking about our good friends Bungie and their very popular product, Destiny 2.
Clear! Clear!
After he's gone.
This is the part of the job I hate.
They've got factional rallies going on at the moment, which is a seasonal event that happens once a month or so. Faction rallies, they're called.
Faction rally.
And it turns out they've found a way to faction rally everyone.
Oh, I like that.
It's good, isn't it?
I like that a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're talking about our favourite developer,
Bungle!
Oh, Bungle.
We love
just
Bungle.
That Bungle just fits so well as opposed to Bungie. Like it
and
just.
If anyone hasn't looked up what the word bungle means, please look it up and you'll know exactly why it's so fitting.
So at the moment, what's going on is that Destiny's in trouble. As a launch product, everyone loved it. But when they hit the end game, they were like, "This isn't all that great." It's been hemorrhaging players. The hardcore community is super pissed off 24/7, to the point where they've actually just released a gigantic developer update saying, here's how we're going to fix our game over the next year. And when we say year, they basically said that a lot of the more meaty changes, the stuff that's really going to transform the experience, isn't arriving until fall 2018. So that's pretty crazy in itself.
Yeah, it kind of feels like, the community is in front of them saying, please just help us and fix this bloody game. And at the start, they're like, yeah, cool, like, we're going to fix this, of course. But really, they're just, like, connivingly thinking, how the hell can they still, like, screw you over?
Don't be so cynical, Sam.
Oh, never.
This is not the channel for cynicism.
That's true. Sorry, guys.
One of the things that the developers are doing, though, they did respond to complaints around the Curse of Osiris. Because Curse of Osiris DLC came out, and what that did is that locked a whole bunch of people out of different activities. One of the activities that it locked people out of was the faction rallies, because people would have been too low level to participate. So Bungie made some changes with regards to faction rallies and how they worked. They said that everyone is going to be able to participate in them, regardless of whether or not you actually have the Curse of Osiris. Thumbs up, right? Totally cool. So they made some changes to it, and they snuck in a few things in there that they didn't quite tell us about. They are now throttling your ability to complete what's called lost sectors. Now, lost sectors are essentially caves in Destiny 2. Just imagine a cave with some loot in it. That's a lost sector, okay? Now, the way I described it there is really basic, but the way it was hyped up before release, it was like, lost sectors were going to be these amazing things that you explore, and they're everywhere, and it's like, whoa. Turns out they were literally just a
crappy little
They were
caves.
just a new loot cave, So you go there, and they reset over time, whatever else. You go there, you get your loot, okay? What Bungie instituted for the faction rallies which are going on right now is that there is a cooldown on your ability to get tokens from completing lost sectors. So you can't chain lots of the lost sectors one after the other.
So you can't go from one to the next, even if it's in like a 3-kilometer radius in terms of the
Correct.
game.
There's a cooldown which I believe is somewhere in the vicinity of at least 10 minutes, and the lost sectors usually take about 2 minutes to complete if you know what you're doing. So players discovered this obviously as soon as the faction rallies went live, and everyone is like, Bungie, what the fuck? I thought we've been here before. I thought we made this clear.
I thought we fixed this, guys. The whole XP thing, especially when they came out with something saying, we understand that this whole XP thing needs to be fixed. Dude, like, if you're trying to fix XP, then you come out with something and it's like, by the way, we're fucking up your XP.
there's a fundamental thing here where Bungie wants you to play the game their way. If you want to continue to play Lost Sectors and clear them quickly to be able to get access to faction tokens, Bungie's not okay with that. They want to throttle the speed at which you're able to unlock the things that you want, rather than you just being able to play the game as you please, and that is just basement level garbage.
Yeah.
Like, just terrible.
Like, I understand that they want to prolong the experience, and there's definitely ways you can put things in place to make sure that people don't just, like, do things over and over again. I get what they're maybe trying to do, but my problem is I feel like, are those things that are being implemented ultimately trying to steer people to the Eververse?
I mean, I don't think so in this, because as I understand, the faction rallies, in fact I know the faction rallies are separate from Eververse,
Okay,
right?
that's
so
fine.
It's a separate reward economy here.
I'm sure it is, but what I'm saying is it a mechanism put in place to frustrate people and go, you know what, that loot is probably not going to be as strong as compared to me just putting $10 down or something?
No, it's nothing to do with that. I think this time it's nothing to do with Eververse,
Okay,
but I
good.
do think it's about just
It's good
prolonging...
to clarify that with you guys.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get at, really.
It is-
Not everything is going to be about the Eververse, but most of the time it is.
Most of the time it is.
Like 99.9% it
The
is.
great thing about this throttling thing that they implemented is that it actually also influences public events. Now, this appears to be a bug because Bungie were taken a bit surprised by it. But basically now, if you complete the public events too quickly and chain too many of them too fast, you will also not get tokens from completing those. Just fantastic as well. But there's also one other piece of this puzzle as well, which is that new weapons have been promised as part of the faction rallies. They're new rewards, okay? Turns out what's actually happened is that they plan to release new weapons, but they plan to slowly release them over time rather than releasing them all at once. This means that...
Eververse or just like...
No, this is just the faction rally weapons, okay? So right now there's one weapon available, which is the sidearm, okay? There's a whole bunch of other weapons which we know exist because they've been data mined, okay? You can't access them yet. They're going to be available later in Season 2 because Destiny now has these seasons in place, which are spans of a few months of content where they release things and make balance changes and all sorts of stuff. The stuff that you want isn't available yet. It's going to be unlocked over time through subsequent faction rallies, okay? Rather than it being all available on day one. And that means that it's actually logical and best for you as a player to not bother with faction rallies now and just do it at the last faction rally of this season, because that's when everything will be unlocked and you can get access to all the things that you want.
I don't know if I completely agree with that way of thinking. I'll tell you why. Because unless they're releasing certain loot now that is going to be far superior to the loot that they're releasing at the end.
Don't think superior when it comes to Destiny as well. First of all, it's all
light
boring.
levels.
First
right?
of all, it's all boring. Secondly,
like-
no, it's not light levels. It's literally just different combinations of perks.
Okay, fair
That's
enough.
all it is.
What I'm trying to get at is, if they just want to span that content out, they're not handicapping you for playing the game long hours and getting the experience and giving you a steady stream of content. I don't necessarily have a problem with them spanning it out over 3 months if it's a substantial amount that they are releasing throughout those.
It's not a substantial amount. It's just like 2 weapons become available in the next faction rally, and then another 2 weapons.
And when is
sort of
that?
stuff.
When is that incrementally put in place?
Every month.
Every month. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're getting 2 weapons every month.
I don't know the exact number,
Okay,
but it's something like that.
If it's something as small as that, then yes, I think they are doing a disservice. But if they were giving you like 20 or 30 things per month or two, that did take you that whole month or two to kind of get the whole benefit of that before they unleash the next lot of weapons, I'd say that's okay.
And it's kind of similar to the Iron Banner structure, which a lot of people would be familiar with, where they release specific weapons and specific armor slots during the Iron Banner windows. Okay, or at least they used to in Destiny 1. They changed it up with Destiny 2 with this token system. Anyway, that's a whole other story. But I see both sides of this.
You know what I'm saying?
I do, absolutely.
I don't think that's necessarily sinister. Now, what I do think is sinister, of course, is if they're going to be throttling your XP when you're putting the hard hours in. I get that. Look, it sounds like they're just frustrated with the idea of people going to be like chilling in the same areas and doing the same things over and over again, and they're trying to figure out ways to make sure people diversify their experience. That's what it kind of sounds like.
I don't agree with that, because Bungie have built these experiences for us. If they've built the game around, go to this place, do Lost Sectors, do public events, do lots of them in a row, right? This is literally just about making sure that you don't get too much too fast.
Okay,
There's nothing else in it.
That's what I'm saying. So, I think it's very much unfair that the player is getting it's being disadvantaged by putting those hours in. I'm playing 10 hours. I want to get 10 hours worth of experience.
No.
Don't give me if don't let me play 10 hours and only because you're throttling me only get 4 hours worth of experience. What I'm saying is, I don't think everything everything in this is absolutely sinister, but I must say, it sounds like they are maybe a little bit just... They don't know what to do. They don't know how to make sure that you don't sit there and do the same thing over and over again. They want to diversify your experience by making you do other things. You know what I'm saying?
But that's the point. There are no other things to do.
I agree.
And so that rather than giving you other things, they're just making sure that the things that you do take longer.
I agree.
And there's a broader narrative here, which is, again, with faction rally weapons, I don't have a problem with them releasing them over time, right? But I do think there's something in the idea that Bungie is deciding how you will play Destiny. They decide how fast you get things. They decide when you get things. And right now, we just want to be able to play the game and have fun and grind and unlock things. We just want to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
But we're not allowed to do that in the way that we enjoy. We're not allowed to do that at our own pace.
Yeah.
And that just means that the entire experience is frustrating. And the other thing is that you only know now about this issue with throttling because either you've read it on Reddit or you've watched it in this video, okay? If you're just some casual player, of which there are many, many more, we are probably like 2% of Destiny players, the people watching videos like this.
100%.
Other people have no idea. There's no in-game warning, there's no notification, there's no anything to know that you're wasting your time when you're doing this stuff because this cooldown is on.
I 100% agree with that, actually. It's just like
ridiculous.
loot boxes. If you're going to give someone a loot box, display the odds. If you don't want to display the odds, get them out of the game. Same with this. If you're going to make people put hours and hours into certain aspects of your game and not tell them that they're at a disadvantage, you're right. It's fundamentally not the right thing to do. Now, if they were coming out with saying, look, if you want to do this thing over and over again, just so you know, it's going to piss people off. But I would respect the fact, at least, that they were being upfront and transparent. That they were like, dude, this is what we're doing to your XP the moment you go into this place again and again and again and again. I would be like, that sucks, but at least I would have a sense of like, okay, well, you've told me. Like, there's plenty of games out there that don't tell people. They just fucking do whatever they want, you know? So I think that's the first step, at least. If you're going to do this shit, at least let people know.
Agreed, totally. Anyway,
guys, another wonderful day covering...
our favorite video game.
We love them, and the meme about Mufasa shows that we just want them to come back.
We do.
We just want them to come back. Why can't they become Halo 2 again? Come back.
Buy that merch. 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 Buy that merch.
This is the part of the job I hate.